If you are just joining us, this is Justice with Judge Jeanine. And in a few seconds, like right about now, it is 10 p.m. On the East Coast and 11 a.m. in Tokyo, around that. And stay with us as we await the president addressing our troops in Tokyo in the Air Force Base where he has just landed. And Ambassador Bolton is still with us, along with Congressman Chaffetz. John Roberts, of course, right there in Tokyo with the president. Congressman Chaffetz, have you ever accompanied the president, whether it was President Bush or anyone else, on one of these trips?
No, I haven't. I've gone with congressional delegations, but you know, I was elected the same time as President Obama, so I didn't exactly get an invitation to join Air Force One on that one. So
I was just gonna, you know, I purposely left him out, but you know, I thought, well, you know, who knows? Who knows? And Ambassador Bolton, I mean, you've been in the thick of these meetings.
Well, it's impressive to watch the president travel. It's quite an operation, and a lot of work goes into it, and just the logistics and the technical aspects are really kind of overwhelming. But it's very impressive, and it's designed to convey that our president is the leader of the greatest nation in the world. So it's worth the effort, I think.
And you know what, Ambassador, it is an incredible show of force and power. You know, we saw some still photographs today of the Beast, the vehicle that I believe carries the president, along with all of the other vehicles that accompany the president, as well as the First Lady, when they go into other countries. Very, very impressive, you know, vehicle display, along with, of course, the military display, as well as the powerful number of military forces that accompany him. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Justice with Judge Jeanine. It is a little after 10 p.m. on the East Coast, 11 a.m. in Tokyo. The president about to address our troops in Tokyo, where he has just landed with the First Lady, where it is Sunday morning at 11 a.m. All right, and we're right there at Yokota Air Base. He should be walking in any minute. Big flag there. Kind of reminds me of my flag behind the set at Justice. No? And, you know, we heard live music. John, are you with us? Is John Roberts still with us? Yeah, there's that live music.
Go ahead, Judge.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious as to whether or not you could see whether the president has walked in and how long before he gets to the stage.
Well, I can tell by the movements out there on the tarmac that he's finished doing the selfies and the autographs and things like that. He's probably in the holding room in the back here in the hangar. Again, just probably going over his notes. It's been a long trip for him, coming all the way from Hawaii and then Washington to Hawaii yesterday, and then the day's events there. He got to bed quite late last night. So he'll take a couple of minutes, get a breather, drink of water, go over his notes, and then he'll be out here, because there are a lot of people who are waiting to see the president. It's really interesting to me, Judge, having been through the entire campaign and then followed him for the last almost 10 months now as president, that the one group that he really has an affinity for, and you can really tell that it's return, is with the military.
Yeah, there's no question.
And that's why he was out there signing autographs and, yeah, taking selfies with people. That the group of people that he appreciates so much is that 1% that gives so much to the defense of this country. And we heard John Kelly speak so eloquently about that, the Chief of Staff, former Commander General, who I first got to know in Iraq back in 2003 during the invasion, talking about the fact that the majority of people in this country do not know what it's like to serve in the military.
Yeah.
And he was taking questions that day from members of the press in the Brady briefing room, and he said, how many people here are from a Gold Star family? Nobody put up their hand.
Yeah.
And he said, how many people know a Gold Star family? And it was only a handful of individuals who did. So it really shows the rarefied environment in which these men and women, these brave men and women, these courageous men and women from our military and the families that support them serve in. It's only 1% of the population, Judge, but it's a 1% that gives so much to this country.
And you know, I'm going to bring Ambassador Bolton back. You know, Ambassador John Roberts is so correct. I mean, President Trump has such an affinity and such a display of affection for not only the military, but for law enforcement. And you could see that it's real and it's genuine, and it's the kind of thing that Americans are almost unaccustomed to, especially in the last 8 years. And so, you know, his display of respect for them, I think, is causing the whole country to take another look at the military, especially where there are so few of us who are in military families, unlike other countries like Israel, for example, where everybody, men and women, are part of the Israeli Defense Force.
Yeah, well, there's a strong argument that really the military draft was something that helped bring the country together, that it put a responsibility on everybody. And while philosophically an all-volunteer army makes a lot of sense, you have to wonder if that common effort in the military for a year or 2 years isn't something that we should take a look at again as we see all these fractures and political splits in the country. I think it has a lot to recommend it.
Well, and Congressman Chaffetz, also in terms of the military and the president, his show of respect for them and the possibility of even a military parade and what we're seeing here tonight. Do you expect that there might be a difference in terms of this country, and given someone like General Kelly being chief of staff and Mattis and, you know, the respect for the military in this administration?
No, absolutely. And it comes on the heels of a very disappointing ruling on Bo Bergdahl. And I think a lot of families, military families, were absolutely devastated. It'll be interesting to see if the president addresses that and talks about it. But I want to remind people, there are literally tens of thousands of Americans who are affected by this trip. When you have 3 carrier groups in the area, we have a very difficult time operating without the help and assistance of the Japanese. We're going into those ports. Our men and women and their families are ingrained into the Japanese culture. And so to have the president there is just an added special benefit and a bonus. And I think you'll see the Japanese people really embrace this president, because he is very much pro-military, but his relationship with Prime Minister Abe comes at a very critical time, and they do have a very good working relationship, and that spills over into the military as well.
And you know, when you say that, Congressman, it spills over to ordinary Americans and the importance of allies and friendship. All right, I'm hearing in my ear that the president is about to come to the podium. We don't quite know who's here. He comes.
First Lady of the United States.
Take the lesson.
Okay, everybody. Mr. President, sir, I will tell you that you look great in that suit, but there's something missing. Could I please ask the wing commander of the biggest, baddest, meanest C-130 wing in the Air Force, Colonel Bull Moss, to come out here? Go ahead, Bull. Just give the boss.
Should I put it on? I like this better. You can have my jacket, just... Thank you, honey. Thank you. Oh, boy, that's something. This is a great group of people. Thank you very much, and General Martinez, everybody, for your devoted leadership of our brave troops right here in Japan. And especially thank you, especially to all of the incredible service members. We're really here today, and we're going to have a good time. And we're going to celebrate your achievements. So I'll issue one of your favorite commands. Are you ready? At ease. At ease. Just sit there. Now have a good time. Just have a good time. Melania and I also want to extend a special thanks to Ambassador Bill Hagerty, who's doing an outstanding job. He's an outstanding person. I know him very well. Believe me, you got one of the great ones. He's leading our American embassy in Tokyo. I'm honored to be here today in this beautiful country, home of the extraordinary people of Japan. Japan is a treasured partner and crucial ally of the United States, and today we thank them for welcoming us and for decades of wonderful friendship between our two nations. Americans have deep respect and admiration for the people of Japan, their amazing culture, their strong spirit, and their very proud history. So on behalf of the United States of America, I send the warmest wishes of the American people to the citizens of this remarkable country. Now I know how you guys feel. This is pretty good. Our travels across Asia will take us to many historic places, to see many wonderful sights, and to speak before many audiences. But there's no single place I'd rather begin my trip than right here with all of you, the incredible men and women of the United States military and your amazing partners, the Japanese Self-Defense Forces. Thank you for being here. Thank you. To everyone here today who serves your country in uniform, thank you, thank you, thank you. We salute you. What's your rank? We're going to raise it. We salute you, we honor you, and we stand proudly with the men and women who defend us and our way of life. Nations are built from the courage, love, and sacrifice of patriots just like you. Each of you inherits the proud legacy of generations of warriors that have walked these very grounds for more than 7 decades. From Yokota's runways, American pilots took to the air and drove back the invaders during the Korean War. Tremendous courage, tremendous bravery. From here, they enforced a precious peace during a long and bitter Cold War. And in the aftermath of the devastating 2011 tsunami, this base served as the launching point for Operation Tomodachi, largest humanitarian relief effort in American history, which saved the lives of thousands and thousands of great Japanese citizens. Like those who came before you, you always rise to the occasion, and you never, ever let your country down. General Martinez, General Shirati, General Pascaret, Rear Admiral Fenton, Brigadier General Winkler, Colonel Moss, and Chief Master Sergeant Green, you lead the forces under your command with exceptional skill and devotion, and America is tremendously grateful to you. We're also very fortunate to stand alongside such strong and capable allies. General Mahira, General Asai, General Imaki, and General Ando. Thank you for your leadership and service. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. On behalf of the American people, I want each and every one of you, both American and Japanese, to know that your service and commitment helps keep us all safe, strong, and free. I also want to express our gratitude to the family members and loved ones who sacrificed so much to make your service possible. They are absolutely incredible people, and it's not easy. America is profoundly grateful for all you do, and we are back home starting to do, I will tell you, and you're reading and you're seeing really, really well. The stock market is at an all-time high. Unemployment back in the United States is at a 17-year low. Almost 2 million jobs have been added since a very, very special day. It's called Election Day, November 8th. 2 million jobs. It's a lot of jobs. And we've dealt ISIS one brutal defeat after another, and it's about time. It's truly inspiring to see American airmen and Marines and Japanese. Yeah, I have a great Marine here, General Kelly, 4-star. Did anyone ever hear of General Kelly? Where's General Kelly? He is something. Now he's Chief of Staff. But he does like those 4 stars, I want to tell you that. But American airmen and the Marines and Japanese self-defense forces, they're standing here with us today, side by side, confident, committed, and more capable than ever. You instill confidence in the hearts of our allies, and you strike fear in the hearts of our enemies. It's the way it should be, isn't it? Our alliance is a testament to the transformative power of freedom. Today, nations that once waged war now stand together as friends and partners in pursuit of a much better world. And we're getting there. We're getting there faster than you think. With your presence here today, shoulder to shoulder, you put hope into every soul that yearns for peace. All of you have made Yokota one of the most capable operational bases in Japan and actually anywhere in the world. For over a decade, this incredible place has been home not only to American service members, but also to the Air Defense Command of the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force. Today, this base serves as a critical center for coordination for American and Japanese commanders to plan their missions. For almost 60 years, the military alliance we see on this base has endured a cornerstone of sovereignty, security, and prosperity for our nations, this region, and indeed the entire world. Today, we pay tribute to that legacy, a legacy you protect and grow each and every day. We dominate the sky. We dominate the sea. We dominate the land and space. Not merely because we have the best equipment, which we do. And by the way, a lot of it's coming in. You saw that budget. That's a lot different than in the past. A lot of beautiful, brand new equipment is coming in. And nobody makes it like they make it in the United States. Nobody. Got a lot of stuff coming. Use it well. but because we have, more important than equipment, we have the best people. Each of you embodies the warrior creed. Your devotion, prowess, and expertise make you the most fearsome fighting force in the history of our world. Together with our allies, America's warriors are prepared to defend our nation using the full range of our unmatched capabilities. No one, no dictator, no regime, and no nation should underestimate ever American resolve. Every once in a while in the past, they underestimated us. It was not pleasant for them, was it? It was not pleasant. We will never yield, never waver, and never falter in defense of our people, our freedom, and our great American flag. That flag stands for the values of our republic, the history of our people, the sacrifice of our heroes, and our loyalty to the nation we love. As long as I am president, the servicemen and women who defend our nation will have the equipment, the resources, and the funding they need to secure our homeland, to respond to our enemies quickly and decisively, and when necessary, to fight, to overpower, and to always, always, always win. Right? This is the heritage of the American Armed Forces, the greatest force for peace and justice the world has ever known. Free nations must be strong nations, and we welcome it when our allies from Europe to Asia renew their commitment to peace through strength. We seek peace and stability for the nations of the world, including those right here in this region, and it's a great region. As Americans celebrate Veterans Day this month, we honor all who have sacrificed to make peace and stability possible. We pay tribute to every proud American who has worn the uniform and served our country. Today, many nations of the Indo-Pacific are thriving because of the sacrifices made by American service members and our allies, and because of the sacrifices all of you continue to make each and every day. Here in Japan, we have seen the amazing things that are possible when a people are free and independent. Over the course of a single lifetime, the Japanese people have built one of the most successful societies and nations in the world. Over the next 10 days, we travel to South Korea, China, Vietnam, and the Philippines. We will seek new opportunities for cooperation and commerce, and we will partner with friends and allies to pursue a free and open Indo-Pacific region. We will seek free, fair, and reciprocal trade. But this future is only within our grasp because of you. You make it possible for peace-loving nations to thrive and for peace-loving people to prosper. You are the reason the great American flag will proudly stand behind me wherever I go. And every time I look at that flag, I will think of brave men and women like you, and I will think of all of the American patriots down through the generations who poured out their blood, sweat, tears, hopes, and dreams to defend our country. When you follow your citizens and people across the Indo-Pacific region see the flags of free and sovereign states like the United States and Japan displayed during our diplomatic meetings over the next 10 days, be proud of your nation. Be proud of your service and be proud of the security you provide that makes it all possible. Like your predecessors, you, our brave warriors, are the last bulwark against threats to the dreams of people in America and Japan and all across the world. You are the greatest hope for people who desire to live in freedom and harmony, and you are the greatest threat to tyrants and dictators who seek to prey on the innocent. History has proven over and over that the road of the tyrant is a steady march toward poverty, suffering, and servitude. But the path of strong nations and free people, certain of their values and confident in their futures, is a proven path toward prosperity and peace. We cherish our cultures, we embrace our values, and we always fight for what we believe in. Because of you, the people of America, the people of Japan, and the freedom-loving people everywhere are able to fulfill their destinies and follow their dreams. And we are grateful for your families, for their sacrifice and support that allows our brave men and women to serve. We also appreciate the sacrifice of dedicated civilians who keep this base going and take care of our military and their precious loved ones. We are eternally grateful for your service and for your sacrifice, and we are forever in your debt. I am so proud to be here with you today. We face many challenges and many opportunities, and we will face all of them together as a team. And if we do, I am certain that the future for America, for Japan, and for our cherished allies has never, ever looked brighter. Because of patriots like you, freedom will prevail. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the armed forces, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, we see President Donald Trump completing his speech to the U.S. troops at the Yokota Air Force Base, in Tokyo, Japan. A very inspirational speech. The president clearly with an affection for the military, giving them a big shot in the arm, talking about what a treasured partner Japan is to the United States, now a crucial ally. And even though at one point we were countries that were at war, we now stand together as friends and partners in pursuit of a much better world. It was clear that this audience, this military audience, was very jazzed up for the president, and he had some very warm words to those troops, telling them that Americans salute them, that they honor them, and that because of them, American people have a remarkable country, and indicating to the troops as well that they have never let us down, but also taking a little credit for what's going on in the United States, the stock market at an all-time high, unemployment at a 17-year low, 2 million jobs since election day, and ISIS being defeated, one defeat after another. He gave the military real kudos in saying that they strike fear in the hearts of our enemies. And not only does the United States have the best equipment, we have the best people, and that we dominate the sky, the sea, the land, and space. And that is President Trump giving kudos to the military at the Yokota Air Force Base in Tokyo, Japan. I'm going to call in Ambassador Bolton now as we see the president saying goodbye. Or right now, I'm hearing Congressman Chaffetz. Congressman, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, Congressman, what's your take on that speech this evening? Or 11 a.m.-ish in Tokyo?
Look, the president makes us proud there. You know, these are tough, tumultuous, and dangerous times, and you got tens of thousands of Americans out there serving our nation, being that front line of defense. You got three carrier groups in the area, and you know, you had a president who is fiercely patriotic, and I love it, and I think they loved it too. No apologies. He knows that the United States of America is the strongest superpower in the world, and he makes no apologies for it. He loves the red, white, and blue. You can see it in his face, the way he projects it. He's talking from his heart, and that will radiate out to those troops. It was just absolutely, it was great.
Yeah, and you know, it's so powerful when he talks about them, and he talks about, you know, American patriots. And you know, I was kind of thrown back to the, you know, Winston Churchill when he said American patriots have poured out, you know, their blood, their sweat, their tears, you know, for the dreams of Americans. I mean, a very powerful speech, very well delivered, very well received, a real hand of friendship to Japan, our ally, and you know, very refreshing, Congressman, that the United States and the president, you know, showing public displays of cooperation with allies, as opposed to the last 8 years when our allies had no idea they were our allies based on how they were being treated by Barack Obama.
Yeah, no, look, it harkens back to the times of Ronald Reagan, where peace through strength is one of the things that President Trump talked about, that Ronald Reagan projected. And I think that gives comfort to our allies. They know that we are going to work in partnership with them. One of our greatest allies is the Japanese, and we're working closely with South Koreans as well. But everybody in that region is listening to where the president's coming for him, and he is not wavering at all about his commitment to protect the United States, help protect the world, and make sure that we have the biggest, baddest military on the face of the planet with the equipment and the resources that they know in order to get it done.
Well, yeah, and that's when he said, you know, we dominate the sky, the sea, the land, and space. Yeah. You could almost hear the you know, the hangar vibrating at that point. And he said, you know, we must always win, and that was very refreshing too. I mean, where the goal is to win, it was very much Reagan-like. You know, what's the goal? The goal is to win.
Well, I think one of the biggest applause lines is the fact that we're now taking the fight to ISIS. I mean, that place erupted with applause. Yeah. These are people that want to engage in the fight. They want to protect America. They're willing to roll up their sleeves and take the risk in order to get out there and protect the United States. And now they finally have a president who's right there with them and has their back. That's what. You know, they're out there by themselves, away from their family and friends, and a very tough, difficult thing. You know, the Kim Jong-un, who knows what he's going to do at any given time, but there you have a president who's willing to fight for their resources, fight for their families, and fight for the United States.
Clearly. And, you know, to our viewers right now, President Trump just finishing his speech to the troops at the Yokota Air Force Base in Tokyo, Japan, where he landed approximately 30 minutes ago with the First Lady, the president there taking back to the stage with First Lady Melania Trump. We're going to stay with this until the president actually gets on Marine One, where he's going to take off to join Prime Minister Abe to play a little golf, to get out there on the links. But we have just heard a very powerful, very inspiring speech. Two members of the military, a real shot in the arm